Hey folks, it's Cement once again, and sweet a mill of yellow because we are getting to the first Steven Seagal direct-to-video film that he did, and that is The Patriot. And considering there's about 50 other direct-to-video films after this I'm going to be watching, I know I keep saying this, but his older films I enjoy Above the Law, I enjoy Hard to Kill, I enjoy March for Death. Out for Justice is my favorite. I like Under Siege 1 and 2. I can even have fun with On Deadly Ground. I think the Dormer Man I think is underrated. I enjoyed Fire Down Below. But Fire Down Below was a flop. And I remember I got a message from Jack Craven. Jack Craven, once again, really nice guy, messaged me. In his message he said that it seemed like Warner Brothers took a big hit financially because of how much of a flop Fire Down Below was. And honestly, the last couple films, On Daily Ground was a flop. Under Siege 2 underperformed. Zedru Decision wasn't Game Busters box office wise. Gunner Man flopped. And Fire Down Below flopped. And plus they got tired with dealing with Steven Seagal's bullshit that they dumped him. I think they worked with him one more time with Exit Wounds. After that, they're done. And that's why you don't see a lot of special editions for his older films, because they don't want anything to do with Steven Seagal. And Down Below was a flop. The next film he did was this, which I guess was supposed to go into theaters. But someone looked at it and they went, well, this barely has any action. No, don't put it in the theater, put it direct to video. And I know it's 1998, but some places say this came out direct-to-video technically in 1999. It's directed by Dean Semler, who was a cinematographer. He had directed Firestorm with Howie Long, as well as this. I do want to recommend, I didn't even mention this, the Verne Seagalogy, Study of Ass-Kicking Films of Steven Seagal by this guy named Verne, which is pretty entertaining book, going through each of his films. Although this one, because he makes a film every 2 weeks, is outdated because the last film was, I think, Pistol Whipped, and he's made like 10 other movies since then. And that isn't even a joke. I think literally has been at least 10 movies since then. Maybe more. But the reason I mention this was based on a book, and the book was called The Last Canadian. And this is what the book was about. Okay. The book, The Last Canadian, by Canadian journalist William C. Heine, was about how the Russians, some Russian guy, sent over a poisoned doll to an American girl and infected shitload of people. And our lead guy was Gene, an American expatriate living in Canada, who sees on the news one day that a mysterious virus is killing Americans, first in a small mountain village west of Denver, then spreading rapidly across the country. He's got a bad feeling, immediately borrows a company plane, takes his wife and 2 sons out to a remote cabin. It's a good idea, because in less than a week, there are only a few thousand people left alive on the continent. At this point, it becomes almost like Omega Man / The Quiet Earth, where he's a virus carrier, but he's not dying. His family stays in a cabin for 3 years, remodeling it for the winter, growing vegetables, learning how to hunt, prepare meat, and find honey. Then a carrier of the virus happens to wander by, infecting, killing all of his family except Gene. So that's when he's a virus carrier. Fixes up his motorhome, travels the continent, running to various survivors, having to kill some of them and fall in love with another. He's scavenging. But then the Russian army are watching the coast with submarines. He's targeted, gets betrayed by a fellow survivor, avoids, I guess, some atomic bombs. His girlfriend gets blown up. So he says, fuck it, goes to Russia and infects them. In the end, the governments in England, Russia, and China unite to nuke Asia, killing Gene and destroying the virus so that the world can start over again. And some of the debris lands on the graves of the family, his family, and soaks into the soil so that Gene can be together with his loved ones. That was pretty much the plot of the book this was based on. And here, it takes place in Montana, and Seagal is a doctor who has a daughter, and this militia, led by Gaylord Sartain, who, if you remember in the older Ernest P. Worrell movies, like Ernest Saves Christmas, and I think he was in Ernest Goes to Jail. You had the thin guy, Bobby, and then you had the bigger guy. He was the bigger guy, and he's the villain in this. And this militia group, which they call them neo-Nazis, although that neo-Nazi part is never in the film. They have a virus. The leader infects himself, surrenders himself, gets arrested, spits on the judge to spread the virus. They think they have an antitoxin, but it doesn't work. Seagal calls in some people. They can't find a cure. Seagal beats up a couple people, and I do mean only a couple people. Later goes to this underground lab to find a cure, and you find out that the cure are these flowers that are around locally in order to save the day. Yep, it's so much like that book that it was based on. But yeah, the film itself, I remember when this came out and actually being kind of interested in it. Hear me out. Because at 1998, I'm like, hey, think of the Seagal films that came out. Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Out for Justice, Under Siege 1 and 2, The Delivery Man. I enjoyed all those movies. Except Executive Decision. But at all, he's not the star of it. Here, he's the star of it. And it sucked. It's very boring. It's very slow. Nothing happens. Thankfully, it's only an hour and a half long. There's a reason why this went straight to video, because Seagal as a doctor, does anyone really want to see Seagal as a doctor? To a lot of people, not fucking really. His character's name is Wesley. At the beginning, he helps his calf. He has his buddy, played by L.Q. Jones. And he says we should shoot the calf. Seagal says, no, I'm going to help it. And he does. And it's a calf that belongs to his daughter. And the calf is okay now. And like I said, the militia, led by the guy from Ernest. Which, the guy, he's not a bad actor. It's just, I couldn't take him seriously as the villain because I kept thinking that Ernest P. Worrell was going to be popping up. You know what I mean, Vern? I mean, he wasn't Vern, but like Ernest was going to pop up. Hey, where's Bobby? Seagal's a doctor. There's this tea from wildflowers from the hills that his daughter gives him. Like I said, the militia leader swallows this vial, liquid of disease, surrenders, spits on the judge. Some bonding with dad and his daughter. Jokes about, oh, you got some pie crust on your lips? Some little back and forth dialogue. He was called by a friend who Seagal used to work with the government, dealing with viruses and shit. He doesn't do that anymore. Sees people getting sick, saying we're in a world of shit. Sees a bunch of sick guys, calls them. Town is quarantined. This militia leader finds out, again, that antitoxin doesn't work. So he wants broken out, and his little militia army breaks him out of jail. They go in the hospital, kill a bunch of people, overtake it. And they're looking through records and realize that Seagal's daughter is infected, but she's doing okay. her blood's fighting the infection, so they want Seagal's daughter. Seagal doesn't like that. This is like 35, 40 minutes into the film now. You did one little piece of action where he punches a guy through this door, and the door looks like it's made out of fucking cardboard. Literally. I wish I had cardboard around here now. And when you look at the bottom, there's like a shitload of cardboard broken up, piled at the bottom of the door that the guy went through. I'm like, what the fuck is this door made of? Oh, cardboard! You couldn't afford... Are you really that cheap of a direct-to-video film? You can't afford an actual fucking door? You have a door made out of cardboard? You can't have an actual door that you soften so a guy can go through? You literally had to have a cardboard door? And then another guy, he rabbit punches in the fuck out of the guy's nose and then kicks him into a vending machine. So after throwing a guy through a cardboard door and kicking a guy into a vending machine, he leaves with his daughter. They get out of there, get with his buddy. His buddy throws dynamite at a car coming for them. The truck flips over, actually lands on one of the bad guys. And then another guy, you see, he fell and onto like a post or something. So he's, imagine you're face up and he's bent backwards like this on a post. But for some reason, Seagal's buddy, gets excited, he's doing the jig, and a guy who's not dead shoots him in the back, bloody squib, as Seagal shoots the guy, I think, in the head. Takes his buddy to go to grandpa's place, have a ceremony, and bury the guy. And then he created this DARPA fake ID to go with him and this, I forget if it's his sister-in-law or his girlfriend. I don't know who the fuck this girl. I literally forgot who the hell this little girl, and then at the grandpa place, this grandpa, and then this young woman. I forget who the hell the young woman was. I just got done watching this. I completely fucking forgot who it was. Like, character-wise. I don't even remember her fucking name. But Seagal takes her, they go to this underground lab, and they don't, hey, you got clearance, you can't be here. Seagal disarms them, says, I will help you, gives him back the gun, and is looking for a cure. And this whole time I'm like, why don't you look at yourselves? You're not sick. The woman over here is not sick. All this time you're testing all these people who are getting sick. Seagal, you and your friend are not sick. Is a light bulb going to appear sometime or not? Aren't you trying to like, how come I'm not sick? You know, I've been around a lot of sick people, but I'm not sick. How come I'm not sick? How about you test your fucking blood and see why you're not sick? I'm wondering when the fuck this guy is going to do it. What kind of fucking doctor is he? Dr. Seuss? Light bulb? Can you appear light bulb? Or has it shorted the fuck out? Did you take the fucking screwdriver into the little plug-in and... Again, look in the fucking mirror. Hey, I'm Steven Seagal and I'm not sick. That's kind of weird, don't you think? That's kind of strange. I'm not sick. I wonder how what. But are you part of Dr. Fine, Howard, and Howard? What the... And then, no, it's one guy is not dying. There's some flowers on his chin. It's like, where's that from? I gave him some tea. What tea? The flowers, the red medicine from the hills. Stuff you've been drinking. I'm like, yes, Seagal, do you notice now that you're not sick? You're a great doctor. Man, you notice shit. Would you notice a fucking hippo if they was standing in front of you? Would you notice two fucking gorillas banging on your door? While banging each other? While you're 2 feet away? Or will you be that oblivious? So, saves the one guy gets saved. Like, there was like a bunch of them, only one got saved. The rest died. they go back, they get caught by the militia, and there's a very... He's drinking one of those wine glasses, breaks it so it's just the stem, puts in the leader militia, the guy from Ernest movies, Gaylord Sartain, into his head, shoots literally 3 guys, pop, 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 calls them, hey, get some flowers, spread it to the townsfolk, helicopters come, spread the flowers, drink them as tea, and you'll be fine. And everything's fine. The daughter's walking with her calf. And I'm thinking, when did they stop? Did they literally stop so she could take her calf to town? I guess so. It makes a lot of sense why this film did not go to theatrical. To movie theaters. People would have been ripped off. They'd be like, what the fuck? There's barely any action? Literally... You could literally say... being generous, 2 minutes of action. That's being generous. I guess what you mean by action. And I love it because it says high caliber action. Wow, that's some high caliber action. All fucking... Yeah, every second counts. Yeah, because every second of action will count in the film because that's all you're getting. Seconds of action in the fucking flick. Yeah, this movie is boring. It's lame. Okay, Steven Seagal trying to do a drama, but it failed. I'm sorry. Sorry. Unless you're going to blow me away like JCVD or Wake of Death, which also had action in it, or whether you're going to blow me away or whether you're just going to blow me plain simple, this movie just doesn't cut it. It's a lame, boring, shitty Seagal film. It's a fucking piece of shit. If you like the film, that's fine, but what is there to like about the flick? You're not getting fisticuffs, you're not really getting action, you're not getting much of anything. Unless you want to see Seagal's attempt at drama, being a doctor, and resulting in him curing people with flowers. There's a reason why Dean Semler didn't go on to direct much. This and Firestorm killed his career. And sadly, even Firestorm is better than this. Just Firestorm actually has some action. My problem with Firestorm is Howie Long doesn't work as a lead. Hell, if Seagal was the lead in Firestorm, maybe it would have been better. Or Van Damme. Or, again, that's a different thing. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Take care. That's my thoughts on The Patriot. There's a Patriot with Mel Gibson that I like, that Roland Emmerich directed. That's a good one. If you want to see a Patriot, go see that Patriot. It was Mel Gibson, directed by Roland Emmerich. Watch that Patriot, not this Patriot. So, thanks for watching. Take care. Later.